Hey, my loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're here for the first time, honey child, you're welcome. Just don't forget to hit that subscribe button, post notification bell, so you can be notified every time a honey posts a video. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for deciding to watch yet another podcast video. Um, and I just want to wish everybody a happy festive season. Happy December, guys. Happy Christmas. Happy everything. Like, this is the time of the year where everyone is just happy and joyous because it's Christmas. It's the most joyous time of the year. So anyway, as you guys saw by the title of this video, we're going to be talking about China reopening. Like, China has been on some toil, like on some up and downs, up and downs, up and downs for 3 years now. People haven't been able to come to China. People haven't been able to travel for various reasons to see their family members, for tourism, for because there was the zero COVID policy. And before we dive deep into it, I just want to put a disclaimer out there. This channel is just for cultural exchanges. We are not a political viewer. We don't discuss political factors here. We just discuss it's just assumptions like what do you think will happen in the future, and just hearing, conversating with each other so that we can see could you like what's happening in the world. Like, me being here in China, I can just tell you guys my views from the things from my own eyes, my own experience. Hence, whatever you take here is just, I don't work for the government. Hence, I don't know what the government say. Whatever information you find here, please do cross check it with the officials, because actually I'm just a ESL teacher here in China, and yeah, there's that. So without wasting much of your time, let's dive right into the video. Um, okay, so now we're going for the first part. Okay, if you're coming to China, I feel like this is the things that you're supposed to know. Know this before even buying your ticket. Know this before even attempting to invest in China. Know this before you even, when you just said, when you make the decision, okay, I want to come to China, take a paper and a pen and know this, like fully digest. Why I'm saying, some people may come for me saying, why are you saying China is reopening, blah, 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 blah. What information do you have on that? What information do you have on China opening? So, as you guys know, that there's been so many changes to the zero COVID policy here in China. And as we see the changes, we see that China is most likely to be giving out visas. It's like due to, and also just because there are less foreigners in here, and I feel like China wants to bring people back, especially people that will help improve its economy and boost, yeah, and just boost its economy. And with that being said, why do I say China will reopen? We can take a look at things like use of vaccines and treatments that China is expanding, and it's even considering using inhalable vaccines. And it's just, in the meantime, being open to see, to approve foreign, what do you call it, like foreign vaccines, the vaccines that were not manufactured here for the foreigners here who reside here in China. Another thing that we can also see is like China is making an antiviral pill that, like, this thing that can be used in terms of like when there's more outbreaks and stuff like that. And also during the course of the year, the aviation has been increasing number of flights. It has been increasing the number of flights, Another thing that we see is there are so many relaxed quarantine requirements for inbound travelers. That's a good sign. Like, it's really a good sign because now you get to see that, hey, these people going in and out is not, it's not affecting us in any way, even though there has been high records of cases. But I feel like there is a stability, like, but not on the people that are leaving because um, just recently that's when they said they're not locking down the whole region just because of a smaller community that is affected with COVID, which is better. And also, we just saw that if you know, if you watch the news, you know that the G20 it it recently held a meeting in Indonesia, and they saw that the president was attending and engaging with other foreigners without a mask, without COVID precautions. You see, so this also just shows that there is something that is going on, and if you should be prepared. And in November, also, we see that the government unveiled 20 measures, which was to limit contact tracing to direct contacts only, no longer. So when they would look for people who are infected, they would look for the direct and the second degree, like if you were in this place. So maybe we went to the supermarket the same day because of big data, the scanning, the what, it locates people in places. So if visited a certain particular place, you would also be quarantined. And also just narrowing the risky regions to individual buildings rather than the whole neighborhood. That's what I was saying. So this just shows why I think China is reopening. And yeah, so we're going to move on to the next segment, which is discussing, like, you should know before you come to China. Know why are you coming to China, or what are you coming to China as? Are you coming as a student? Are you coming as a job seeker? Are you coming as a businessman? What, like, why are you coming to China? Why are you coming to China? And this helps to our next question, which will be, who can go to China? Once you know why you want to come to China, then you know who can go. You see. So I've already listed people come here to China as students, as job seekers, as investors, as businessmen, and some for tourism. Okay. And that also is aligned with what kind of visa you should hold. You see. And about the visa part, we are going to expand in this life as we go on. We're going to discuss about the visa issue, what kind of visa you should apply to. But for now, let's dive into why are you coming to China. Okay, so now I've listed ways you can come to China as. Let's go in who can go to China. You see, so right now, China's current entry policy is just for people that are holding a visa, a valid Chinese resident permit for work, for personal matters, for reunion, which could be family, and for students. You see, so right now, only students can come. Only people coming for work are eligible, and only people coming for reunions, personal matters. You have to visit the website to clarify what qualifies as personal matters. But I really feel like it's the only thing that's missing here is maybe tourism, because now they actually predict. Okay, according to the current news, current affairs, people predict that maybe in August 2023, maybe they'll be open for tourism because China has so many huge events that are going to be happening, and not so sure because also it also cancelled. It was supposed to hold the Asian Asian Cup in June 2023, but that's also up. That's also before the August 2023. Nobody knows, but that event has been cancelled. Um, so we've already narrowed down to work, study, family reunion, and maybe personal matters could be emergency humanitarian needs. You see, So this is now we have established who can enter China right now. And mind you, before I continue, I need you to know that every city, every province has different rules. You get different entry policies, different entry policies. So for you to narrow down, I will also do leave links down below so that you can go and to various websites that can have additional information for you guys so that you can know. Right now, currently, there is no official information as on when China will reopen. But like I said, it's just estimation that it might be open in August 2020. Like for tourism, it might be open in August 2023. And students, it's already open for students. Students are coming from various parts of the world. Students are moving. You can, if you're a student, you can all get your visa information, visa paperwork from your school, and you can. All you have to do is oblige by the quarantine rules and pay for the quarantine yourself, and you can be able to come to China. For workers, it's still the same. Get your visa papers, then you go through quarantine before you can go to before you can go to your destinated city. Hello, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Also, yeah. So now we have talked about what are you coming to China to do and who can go to China. We've looked at the China's current entry policy, and now we are going to talk about the quarantine policy. So we have the entry policy, and there is also the quarantine policy. So, like I said, every city, every province, different regulations. But however, you're lucky enough and fortunate enough to have a sweetheart like me, a honey child, you know. And if you know honeys, guys, like bees, they got each other. If you sting one bee, best believe a whole bunch of bees, or if you just hit that honeycomb, you see, you distract bees, they all attack you. So I'm like that person. I'm also a honey child, and I got you. You get, I can plug you. So in my description box, I'm going to link information about who can come to China. I'm also going to leave down below China's current entry policy, and I'm going to link down below the quarantine policy and how you can come to China. Sorry. So the first thing, quarantine policy. The first thing we're going to talk about is the COVID test. Before they revised the zero COVID policy, usually people needed a health card to come to China. You needed the 48-hour negative test, PRC test, which not only one, but you were required to have two. Okay, and now after they revised, now it has changed to one PR test, which is maybe it didn't specify whether it should be 80, but I think it should be 48 hours or 72 hours. Okay, and also the quarantine policy, it was before you were required to quarantine for seven days at a centralized location, then 3 days at home. But however, it has changed to 5 days at a centralized unit or centralized location, then 3 days at home, making it 7 days in total. So yeah, that's the changes that has been that are the changes that have been altered. And okay, give me a moment. Okay, now, so on that quarantine, we're going to talk about quarantine, how the quarantine is going to be like the expenses. So during quarantine period, which is normally you are going to, depending on the location you are, you can be charged 400 RMB to 600 RMB or renminbi for board. This one is for board and lodging per day, and is paid per day in the hotel. The hotels are assigned by the government, so you don't have to be picking, I want to be quarantined in this hotel. No, the government chooses these hotels for you, and normally each person stays in a single room. And if you come as a family, like a family of 5, you will be separated, unless you are children under the age of 14 and can be quarantined. You can be quarantined by your parents. So as long as you are above 14 years of age, you have your own room, okay? And if you have other needs, you will be free to ask the staff, and they'll provide the information to you. But however, every cost that is incurred during that period of time, you will fund it yourself. So I'm going to be talking about. Okay, I'm just going to read down a bunch of local quarantine policies for the biggest cities. So we'll start with Beijing. So if you're entering China through Beijing, it's the same 5 + 3, 5 days centralized quarantine and 3 days home quarantine. If you're entering from Shanghai, it's the same. If you're entering from Guangzhou, it's the same. If you're entering from Shenzhen, it's the same. If you're entering from Hangzhou, it's the same. If you're entering from Chengdu, it's the same. If you're entering in Tianjin, it's the same. And if you're also entering from Xiamen, it's the same. So the other cities that I didn't mention, you have to go on the website and see. But I feel like these are the only cities that you can enter from. And the main cities, the small cities, I don't really think you can enter. So however, this is the rundown of the cities where you can enter China through. Hey, how are you, Her Majesty Tamara? Welcome to this podcast. Nice to have you here. I even lost where I was. We finished talking about what are you coming to China as? Are you coming as a student, as a job seeker, as an investor, a businessman? And who can enter China? China's current entry policy, we have already covered that. And we also have covered the quarantine policy. So now we're going to talk about I'm going to answer the most frequently asked questions. Like some people have these are the most, if you go on the website, if you search on Google, what do people normally ask when they want to come to China? What are the questions? What do people need to know in 2023 and in the future? So someone said, if I hold a long-term L or 10-year visa, can I enter China now? No. The L visa is usually no. Those holding certain visas, L or 10-year visas, issued before March 28, 2020, when the COVID started, may not enter China, even if you are vaccinated. So I feel like the L visa maybe could be, I'm not sure what type visa is, but all I know is the ones that are eligible probably is the Z visa, the X visa, and the business one. Not sure which one is the L visa, but like I said, I'm going to be leaving links down below so that you can have first-hand information. Someone also said, my family members, wife, husband, fiance are Chinese citizens and now in China. Can I enter China to visit them? Yes, you can. From June, Chinese embassies begin to accept Q and S visas application. You can check the latest and detailed information in the Chinese embassy of your country. Another question is, I am from the US or the UK and I have already been inoculated with the Chinese vaccine and hold a valid resident permit. I need to go back to the US or China and return and return to China. Is that okay? So maybe you are here in China and you want to go back to your country and then come back. Can that be possible? Normally, yes, but we strongly suggest double checking with the Chinese embassy of the country you are returning to. You are required to quarantine when you return to China. So, like I said, going back and coming back, I also want to do that, but then the expenses that are linked with this going back and coming back, going back and coming back. Yo, if there's one thing I miss, guys, I miss my family. I miss my mom. I miss my dad. I miss my cousins. I miss my sisters, my brothers, and some friends that I went to high school with. But yo, I don't know. So, and also, what one thing about Chinese, what you call it, embassies, they always revise their policies. So if you keep on just subscribe to get notification when there always changes in this policies here, they change quickly. Like you could have one policy for 1 month and the next month it's a different new policy. That's how China lives. So if you want, when you see that there's an opening for you to come to China, move as quick as possible. Move like Wi-Fi speed, not the Wi-Fi back at home, not this China Wi-Fi that just like 5G. Move like 5G to be getting your papers in order and coming to China. And if you know, like why, like I did a video on why it can be beneficial to come to China in 2023. Please do check that video. It's in my description box as we speak. And okay, another question was, can international students return to China yet? Yes, international students can now return to China. Like I said, get your documentation, your visa documentation from your schools. They will have all the information, the JW202 form sent to you, and also you just have to say you just have to be willing to go through the quarantine procedures and follow their rules and regulations. China is like that. The minute you start following their rules and regulations, honey, you got it going swift for you. You won't face challenges. That's all. But the thing is, for students that are coming from Africa, I believe flights are really, 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 what do you call it, expensive. If you came from China, if you came from home recently, please do comment down below the expenses. Like just narrow down the range of expenses that you covered from coming from your country and coming to China past COVID. Okay, so what was another question? Oh, there were just 5 questions. Apparently, yeah. Apparently, people don't like engaging on questions. I don't know why. If you put a tab there on Instagram, people they won't even engage. But I don't know why. I fail to understand why people don't like to support. So with that being said and done, we have covered almost everything. And on my next video, we're going to be talking about the types of visas and visa application, the visa application processes. Obviously, and which visa that I can recommend you guys to apply for here in 2023. Which best visa is more likely to be passed? Because visa denials, if you get 3 strikes, then it's done for. Like I have heard people that say I've been applying for a visa and I have to stop Emergency Tamara says I'm at the background money problems. Busy writing after my toddler. Yo, I saw your vlog, like I saw your video, and I saw that Chima is always following Mama around. I totally understand. Like, hey, I've seen all your vlogs. It's just you and her, you and her, you and her. Yeah. But thank you for joining here. Yeah, I see you. I see the love. I see the support. Thank you so much. with that being said and done, like tomorrow, like I said, I would do a live. No, not tomorrow. On Saturday, I will do a live and we'll talk about types of visas in China and which visa you should apply. Hopefully, I can do it tomorrow. If not, it's Saturday. And yeah, we're going to discuss that. And going forward, I just want to finish this whole chapter about coming to China in 2023. Then we dive into the gist. So, and also be prepared for a story time. This week I will drop a video, not a live, a video on some juicy story time. So stay tuned, subscribe, notification bell, comment down below. Let me just hear from you. And also let me know, guys, where are you watching me from? With that being said and done, honey child, thank you for watching. I love you so much. Bye. See you on my next podcast video. Bye, my love.